Hey guys, this is Ryan here. I hope you guys appreciate the rebrand of my YouTube channel. Trying a little bit to increase the value or quality level of my videos. And so what I have for you guys today is a really cool treat. I can almost guarantee you at the end there is something related to the game. It's not just me reading this comic, but I will be reading the Mage Knight Rebellion and the Mage Knight Unlimited comics and walking through those comics and have a little surprise at the end. So I hope you guys enjoy. Thanks. Snow. We found the lead elements of Wither's army. Rowan. He's using orcs as scouts. Very odd. Karai. Does Blackwind still have a bounty on orc raiders? Birch. Our master does, but I'll not be leaving you any to collect on. Don't worry, Karai. We split bounties evenly in my squad. If we didn't, he'd not get much. Stick with me and you'll do fine. I would, but you're so slow. Slow? I'll have you know. Less talk, more fight, Birch. She's got him pegged. So quickly, too. Stop that wizard. Got him. More fight indeed. Need help, Birch? I've got him tied up. Help? Perish the... Oof. I've got Birch. I kill more saving your butt, Birch, so don't split the bounties. We're a team, Birch, all for one. Orcs are heading out. Thanks for the help, boss. They're pulling back into the woods. We're not alone in fighting them. Move in, enemy of my enemy, is my friend. Can we split his bounties too? Much thanks for driving them off. We just played hammer to anvil. 4, 5, 6 dead orcs? Thank you all for saving our village. Thank you for the healing, kind one. A pleasure. Raiders make off with anything? They took our only mage stone, but the troll protected our shrine. This one was big. He should be worth more. You did good work here, big fellow. I did what was needed. I saved myself. The shrine was the only defensible point. I see. Quick thinking. I like that. Wither's troops overran a garrison west of here. I survived and kept moving. You're out of work? And looking. We scout for Blackwind, a local warlord. He's bringing an army up to drive Wither's troops off. Is he hiring? My camp before the orcs. Please sit. Thanks. Headman said they made off with Magestone. I could be. I was busy. Couldn't have been much. A place like this. Even a little in the hands of an Atlantean can be dangerous. Worse, they can put it in one of their infernal machines. The evil of Atlantean magic is without dispute. Evil's not in the thing, but how it's used. Even so, the melodrama isn't needed, Rowan. A fusion of the magics is what will make the Mage Prince after all. You don't believe that superstitious nonsense, do you? You don't? Birch can't. Gold fever has him nuts. I've seen too much not to believe. I believe. For generations, the three schools of magic have been mortal enemies. Atlantean machine magic, elemental white magic, and Acropolis black magic, but balanced against each other until you rebels shattered that balance. Turak Din. You're right, troll, but gunpowder was to give us freedom from the magical overlords, not chaos and war. Long suppressed by the might of Atlantis and Acropolis, the lowland kingdoms have now struck back, and with them, a horde of new warlords, each trying to carve out their own empire. Old loyalties are broken, and new ones have formed. Look at our little group here. In my early days, I fought for the Black Powder Rebels. Learned a lot about how some leaders see their troops. A lot I didn't like at all. I hooked up with Blackwind when he was just a mercenary commander. He takes good care of us, and introduced me to Rowan. I remember our meeting, Snow, but would never have anticipated it from my training. I thought my work would be completely different. As a healer, I learned to fight for defense, and for the dream of peace. Blackwood may or may not be the Mage Prince, but he is just and kind to the common people of the lands he controls. I never cared who he is, just pays well, and he leads me to places where I win glory and gold. He wants me to believe in the Mage Prince nonsense. Fine, as long as my purse bulges, he can believe in anything he wants. At Necropolis, I was trained as a warrior, but not quite for war. My capture by the Atlanteans proved me new lessons. Snow and Blackwind freed me, and thus my service started to repay that debt. But now I call these former enemies friends. I have fought for several would-be Mage Princes. Your Blackwind sounds like the best of the lot. If you meant what you said, Snow, I would be glad to fight beside you. Glad to have you with us. I'm known as Tarak Din. What is that? Something big, moving fast. More bounties for you, Birch. Faster in, faster down. Blade Golem. Now we know what they did with the Mage Stone. No, this one we take as a team. That one is all yours, Birch. Owen, buy us some time here. I'll do my best. In your debt, Birch. My best shot. Not sure how long it will hold. Got it. Hurry. Headshot, you go first. I follow. You sure that thing of yours will work? You said it changed the world. Good point. On your mark, I shoot. It's breaking loose, not good. Birch, got another arrow? Mark. Crack. Scoom. Skitoom. Nice shot. 2 nice shots, boss. You saved my life. How can I thank you? No need. Well, yes, Birch, you get my bounties. You're a great addition to our squad. More powerful as a team than we are apart. Let's go report to Blackwind. Needs to know Wither was here. True. Say, do we know where here is? I never learned the place's name. Then I think we can call it Birch's Victory. A most suitable name. Good idea. There can't be more than one of them on the map. Ouch. Alright, thank you guys for listening in on me read that comic. So the inspiration for me creating this comic was during COVID, I've gotten very bored, right? A lot of stuff is shut down. Can't go to local game stores. A lot of my friends don't want to come over and play Mage Knight or Magic the Gathering or whatever. And so I decided to take it upon myself to, along with a fellow Mage Knight member of the Mage Knight Facebook community, his name is Mark St. Jacques, him and I kind of work together. His favorite figure in the game is the Troll Artillerist from Rebellion. And for those who don't know, you can take a look at my screen here. You can see the expansions here: Rebellion, Lancers, Whirlwind, and then Unlimited. Unlimited was essentially a re-release of Rebellion with new figures added that kind of added to the meta. Sadly, not every figure got reprinted, and the one figure that a lot of people were upset that did not get reprinted was the Troll Artillerist. The Troll Brawler was actually reprinted, which is basically the artillerist without a crossbow, and it's more of a charge slash, high defense, big beefy versus the long range. And something that came out of this reading, so I want to point out to you guys really quick. So the Troll Artillerist never got reprinted, but something I noticed was there was a troll. All of the LEs in this game are actually inspired from the comics, and specifically the Rebellion LEs. A lot of the figures were also inspired by the comics, but specifically the Rebellion LEs are tied to the Rebellion squad. So we can see here, not all of them, but most of them. Birch, we saw him in that reading. Enunub, I believe he is potentially in some of the other comics. I actually own them all. They actually have full-size, I believe Dark Horse printed them. You know what? Let's just grab it. Yeah, so who printed these? I think it's IDW Publishing printed these. But check that out. Most people have never even seen these comics. So this is a full-size comic, and I plan on... Oh, you know what? Now that I think about it, that looks like Ravarshi, the Pharaoh Bloodsucker right there. So we'll see if those guys are in it. If you guys really like this, please comment wherever I post this. Like, hey man, I would love to see those comics read that way. This is not something I'm like super good at, so it's something I kind of did. Anyways, one thing you'll notice, look at this here. So Birch was in the reading we just did. Snow, who's the leader of the Rebellion Squad. Rowan, who is the healer. Karari, who is the Nightblade. There's even more, but you'll find that the Troll Artillerist, although being printed in Rebellion, doesn't have an LE. And so I thought to myself, maybe I should make one. And then after revisiting the comics, I realized that Tarak Din was a real character. And I show you right now on my screen a 360 degree Mage Knight Metals Troll Artillerist LE custom printed with a custom dial, otherwise known as Tarak Din. And if you look, let that, you guys sink that in a little bit. And if you look on my screen, you'll see here the kind of stats I have built out on this figure. So he's got 12 range, he has 1 target, and he's got a 180 degree arc. That's for a good reason. I bumped the range is 12 on the Troll Artillerist, the 3-star, so let's keep that. 1 target, let's keep that. I decided to increase the arc because this is an LE, guys. The Rebellion LEs are pretty overpowered. So I thought, hey, this figure's not going to be crazy overpowered, but it's going to be worth the points. Like, this is going to be a playable figure. I'm not going to make a crappy LE, right? So just kind of looking through here, on the first click, he's got 8 speed with stealth, 11 attack, 17 with polearm, and that's actually from the comics. In the Unlimited comic, which came out with the Unlimited starter set, he actually uses his crossbow to stab a skeleton. And in fact, all of these abilities are taken from the comics. So he did something, and then I decided to get inspired by his movements and attacks in the comics and turn that into a figure. So all of the moves in here are actually inspired by the comic, and so is the entire character. You'll notice, though, my guy's got purple hair, and I caught that after. I'm going to change that. So, also, I noticed that the range on the figure was not printed correctly, so I'm going to change that as well. That I actually had a trophy shop that helps me print these, and he forgot to add the 12, so it's actually in his possession right now to print that correctly. So, anyways, his first click, 8 stealth on this movement, 11 attack, really good attack, not game breaking, but very good for that point range. 17 defense with polearm, so he's got stealth. If you're going to engage him, you're going to take a little bit of damage, and he's got pierce, so it makes him a threat close range and a threat long range. And then the next click is stealth. Then it switches to toughness because I felt like it's a little too much to have a ton of polearm. Then he has pierce still. After this, he kind of turns into a melee figure. He loses quite a bit of attack. He goes down to 8. He still has toughness, 16 defense, and he has Battle Fury now, so he can't be captured. And he's going to maintain Battle Fury all the way through. He's not going to have a demoralize click. And his next click is 6, 8, 15, 2, and then his next click is 5, 8, 15, 2. So he just kind of loses speed, kind of maintains that attack. Then he gets a Berserk click. 4 movement only, but he's going to get Ram. He's going to go up to 11 attack, 12 defense, and 4 Berserk. So the idea is he's kind of lost his crossbow. You beat him up, but he's got that last ditch of energy. I also forgot to mention, he does have 1 regeneration click on click 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, he's got a regeneration click on click 5. That's intentional. We want to be able to allow him to completely heal himself up to full if he rolls a 6. And so this figure is one of those figures. It's like Mondravelis or it's like Warpath. It's supposed to be good. It's a Rebellion LE. They're supposed to be a little broken. And in fact, this figure still has a lot of weaknesses. Like, it has a hard time close ranging with anything that has invulnerability. So if you're able to base this thing, he's got a lot of issues. He has a weakness to limited invisibility and sneak attack and things like that. But yeah, he does have a regeneration click. And again, all trolls in this game have regeneration, so it's kind of, you gotta have that flavor win. He is Elemental League, so I'll add that. And then his last click is 4, 6, 11, 2. So he basically loses all of his attack. He goes down to 11 defense, but he can still fight, and then he dies. I don't really expect him to hit on a 6 attack, but he is a very, very aggressive figure. It's meant to be powerful. It's meant to, compete with those insane, overpowered, bounding figures. He's meant to be able to compete with them. And he's also a member of the Rebellion Party, so the power level is there. He's a flavor win. And this is what I've kind of concocted during COVID. So the last thing I'll say is I spent quite a bit of time kind of putting this guy together, but I have a lot more content coming down the pipeline. It may not be as cool, it may not have as much animations as this one did with the comic, but if you all really did like that, I have, I know that these are not widely available on the internet, but I have comic 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, which there were 5 comics that came out. Yeah, that's number 1. Stolen Destiny. Dang, it's got Karari, Taraknian on there. Yeah, so I'm going to be reading these, and essentially, if I identify any more lore figures, I want to make a figure for them. So let me know if you guys liked this and if you thought it was cool. It's kind of fun. This game does out of print, but this is kind of a way to keep it going. And I can share these figures with people who want to make their own, or I have the PDF files. I can give them to anyone. You guys can print them off. Just let me know, and I'll give it to you, and you guys can customize your own. I've had some people asking me to customize and pay me for my time. It is pretty time intensive with the amount of editing and Photoshop. It's kind of ridiculous, to be honest. It takes about 2 hours, 3 hours to edit a dial, and so just because it's a super finicky file. And then painting, of course, and all that jazz. So anyways, let me know if you guys like this. I have some really crazy content. I have some extremely rare figures that I'm positive that most of the community has never seen before, and if they have seen them, they haven't seen them completely finished in the way that I did them. And so I'm incredibly excited to share that with you guys. That is coming probably in the next day. So after this launches, probably the day after that, or 2 days. There's a little bit of editing time and exporting time, but anyways, let me know what you guys think. Of course, subscribe if you guys like Mage Knight content. I'm pretty much dedicated to that. I post this if you're not a part of the Mage Knight Facebook group, it has over 1,500 people in it. 1,500. And it is the #1 Mage Knight group in the world. Trust me, I've looked everywhere. I've looked on Discord. I've looked on Reddit. The forums are dead, unfortunately. Sorry, Ups in the Gray. But yeah, definitely check out the... also, somebody asked me why I always wear a hat. I do have hair. I'm not bald, so I do have hair. And so you will see a beautiful emoji as my exit symbol. Mage Knight Wizard, out. Bye.